way to Kilimanjaro, off to Glasgow Airport.
At last.
Say hi.
Thank goodness, I'm shattered. A wee bit of me is going as well. My boots.
Say hello at the video.
Hello! Those nuts are on my way to the airport.
And Connor's driving.
Connor's driving. Efficient driver.
See you soon. Bye.
Hi there, my name is Kirsty, I'm Purvis, and I climbed Kilimanjaro. It was one of the most amazing experiences and one of the most toughest experiences I've ever done in my whole life. It was just unbelievable. I think you have to be there to experience what I did. It was fun, it was hard. You know, we all went through different times where we were like, oh, I can't do this, and then you can, and you know, it was just motivation every day. We had there was 100 of us all in total.
Hi.
Summit night was one of the most, that was the toughest part of the whole walk. That day we had been climbing for about 10 hours and it was quite tough. We started off on our first day, which was relatively not too hard a climb. It was about 5 hours climb our first day, and it was sunny. It was through a rainforest, which was spectacular, and I seen lots of monkeys. And it was a good way of getting to know your team, getting to know the guides, and it was just an amazing day. First night in camp was a bit cold because I wasn't used to, you know, camping out, but it was great fun.
It's huge.
And we just kind of carried on from there. You know, each day it took us 5.5 days to climb up and a day and a half to come back down. But 5.5 days was due to acclimatise to the altitude. So no, it was amazing, really great. Summit night, we had to go up at midnight and got organised. We went to the mess tent. We had our breakfast, and then we all had a guide each to support us on the walk up. The first hour is more or less getting yourself, you know, starting at 1 o'clock in the morning, just getting yourself into a nice pace to climb. Then it's followed by another 2 to 3 hours where you hit the cold zone, where we'll never experience cold like it in your life, we were told. It took us 5.5 days to summit, and that's due to because you've got to acclimatise, and it's really important because you never know how the altitude is going to affect you. I was lucky that my doctor was able to give me medication to help with that, but I still suffered altitude sickness on summit night. But yeah, it took us 5.5 days going through a different camp each night. We would walk for so long each day and settle a camp at night time, and then we were back up in the morning to go walking again. And yeah, it was just phenomenal. But coming down, you come down a different path, and it is so quick. And when you come down, we've seen these big trolleys. It's like big metal wire trolleys, and they're used for, there's lots of them, and they're used for people who can't cope with altitude and need to come down very quickly because it can be very dangerous. And so it was quite interesting on the way up. It was all nice, and then you see all the different sides coming back down. There's helicopter pads now they've got, emergency rescues and everything. So it's, yeah, it was absolutely amazing. I think one of going back to my memorable times, has to be the guides, because every morning they would get up and sing and dance to us, and that was so much fun, and that was a real inspiration and real motivator to keep us going. just amazing. I was walking with another gentleman who was 77. I summited with him, which was really, we kept each other going, we kept cuddling each other, kept saying we can do this. Our guide was great, and on the way along we met some of the other team who had already summited, and everybody was quite emotional, crying, because it's a really emotional journey that we had, you know, got to know each other really well, and getting to that peak was just amazing. You just stood there and you could see the clouds below you, and you could see Kenya, you could just see everything. It's just one of the most amazing experiences ever. But unfortunately I couldn't stay there too long because I was too cold. But it was brilliant, fantastic. Summit night was unbelievably tough, but it was worth it. Camp Shira too, a very cold night, absolutely freezing, had to put all my clothes on. So yesterday we walked for about 14 hours, today walking for about 9. Heading up to the Branco Tower. So I'm going to go now. I think you are like totally cut off from, you know, everywhere. You know, you're just out in a group yourselves. You have got a doctor on hand, you know, but you still, yeah, you're pretty open. You know, it's yeah, and I think one night that I experienced coldness like I'd never experienced it in my life before, and it was my own fault. I had a season 4 sleeping bag, but I forgot to put my silk liner in it, and I actually thought I was going to have to go to the doctor and ask for an emergency blanket because I was so cold. But terrified, I wouldn't really say I was terrified, I think I was just more cold. My most memorable part is probably summit night, I would say, yeah, because it was just, you know, you struggle, and I think it's just such an achievement, you know, to have made it. And I think to made it with the man at 77 was just great, you know, that the two of us summited together. High five, well done. I just take my hat off to anyone at that age that can achieve, and I just hope I can be like that at some point as well. It was really memorable because we've been through a lot as a family the last year, and I feel that it meant a lot to my family that I got to summit at the top. And it wasn't just the achievement for me, it was an achievement for my whole family, and also it was an achievement for St Andrew's Hospice, because they need all the help they can get, because they give the best care in the world, the best palliative care that MD could ask for. You know, it's a worthy cause, and I would definitely climb it again for them. The hospice is a charity fund unit. It's got 28 beds. It used to be run by the nuns, and has now, they still partake, but it's mainly a full functional charity now, and the NHS do tend to help, you know, with our funding as well, but a lot of it is much needed is from the public. It cares for patients who are end of life, and we have a massive team there who are absolutely amazing, from the kitchen porters to you know, the staff nurses to therapists. You know, they've got it all. It's just an amazing area to work. They absolutely, it's an amazing place to work, and they so deserve every penny that people can give them. You know, it's such a special time for people, and it's nice to have a place like that for people for end of life. I'm hoping that St Andrew's Hospice will maybe do something like the Great Wall of China, or Mont Blanc, the Alps, or anything, but I'm definitely doing something. I like my adventures and I like to raise money for the charity. I love it.